Hmm. Why is it not working? Huh. I wonder. Let's just take that off real. Oh, I took off the wrong one. It's fine. I'll just start over. Let's see. Video capture. Yes. Add source. We're gonna put this down here. Why is it not working now? Source. It's not doing anything, which is weird because usually it does. Webcam. Oh, that's why. Hold on, I gotta take that off. Let's get rid of that. That's not the one I wanted. I want video capture. It's still not working. Why is it still not working? I think I do this one. Sure. Yep. Let's go here. It's still not lighting up. Why is it not working? Um, there it is. There's a lot of stuff I had to do to get. It's still not working. It's still not freaking working. Hmm. It's always something. I feel like that's all lying to me. No, it's not. It's really not showing up. Why? I don't understand why it's not showing up. It was working earlier. It says it's working now, but it's not. I don't understand. Well, it really ain't working either. I don't understand. It says it's lit up and everything. Hold on. I already did webcam. Let's see. Let's go here. But see, it's showing me here. Custom, auto detect. Sure. Let's web this. So I am there. You just can't see it. Hold on. What if I build it the other way around? Maybe that's what I did wrong. Maybe it's because I built it wrong. All this just to get it going. Automatic. Video capture. Webcam. Add source. So am I on here twice now? What's this? What's this header? Let's get that out of there. We don't need that. Okay. So when I go live, this is what it's gonna look like. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Ah, wonderful. Let's just click this so we can go back up here. 5 minutes of BS. Anyways, that looks better. A lot better. Okay. Anyways, sorry for all the shenanigans. You know, there's usually shenanigans when I start a live stream, especially because it's been so long since I've done a live stream. Hey there, how are you doing? My name is Angel, and I like all things that are mysterious. And yeah, you guys read the title of this stream, right? I actually was sitting there and I've been watching a lot of stuff, and it really made me wonder if somebody can really sell their soul. And if they really can, who are they selling their soul to? And what do they get in return? So I've already kind of looked up a bunch of stuff. Hold on. I have a whole script for this one. So let me ask you a serious question right now. If someone offered you anything you wanted, right? Just anything you wanted, would you trade your soul? Would you trade your soul for anything that you could possibly have in this whole wide world? Hold on, let me do my stream. Because I'm still having issues with my live stream over here on the side over here. I don't understand. It's just one of my issues, I guess. You. Ah, and it's right at the top of the page. I absolutely love that. So, anyways, um, first things first, I don't know if anybody's seen my post or not, but I got a job. I did. I started, today was my very first day, and couldn't be happier right now, right? What else happened? There was that. We are going to start doing more live streams, no set days, because at this point, I don't know what my schedule is. I'm going to get my full schedule tomorrow. I do know that there was a couple days that I wanted to stream. One of them is tomorrow and today. Today was, selling the souls. Tomorrow it's going to be different. We'll get into that later. Um, I already set everything up. So, speaking of selling your soul, I actually Googled it. Selling your soul, literal or symbolic meaning. And it says from this perspective, the concept of selling one's soul may be viewed as a symbolic act rather than a literal transaction. It may represent a person's willingness to compromise their core values, ethics, or spirituality, integrity in exchange for external rewards. So, I mean, come on. We've seen some stuff. Okay, maybe I'm just the only one that pays attention to that kind of stuff, right? I just been paying attention to some stuff. So I actually looked into more of selling souls, and there are a few people that actually have either made claims of selling their soul for money and fame, or they have alluded to said fact, which we'll get into later. But the first one, I love Wikipedia. The first one is the Crossroad Blues. Commonly known as Crossroads, is a song written by the American artist Robert Johnson. He performed it solo with his vocal and acoustic slide guitar in the Delta blues style. The song has become part of the Robert Johnson mythology as referring to the place where he sold his soul to the devil in exchange for musical genius. This is based largely on folklore of the American South that identifies a crossroads as a site where Faustian, Faustian bargains can be made. Now, that's a whole thing right here. Oh, they did. I love this. A deal with the devil, also known as a Faustian bargain, is a cultural motif exemplified by the legend of Faust in the figure of, God, I'm not going to pronounce that name, Mephistopheles. You know I said that wrong. As well as being elemental to many Christian traditions. According to traditional Christian belief about witchcraft, the pact is between a person. Oh, I wanted to read more. Oh, I'm not going to click it. I'm not. So, anyways, there's that. Can be made. Okay, so Faustian bargains can be made, as the lyrics do not contain any references to Satan. So, the Crossroad Blues may have been in Johnson's repertoire since 1932, and on November 27th, 1936, he recorded 2 takes of the song. One was released in 1937 as a single that was heard mainly in the Mississippi Delta area. I love this. Also known as the Yazoo Mississippi Delta or simply the Delta, is the distinctive northwest section of the U.S. state of Mississippi that lies between the Mississippi and the Yazoo rivers. Okay. The second, which reached a wider audience, was included on the King of the Delta Blues Singers, a compilation album of some of Johnson's songs released in 1961 during the American Folk Music Revival. So they waited like almost 30 years. That's questionable, right? Yeah, we know this. I'm not doing that. Anyways, over the years, several bluesmen have recorded versions of the song, usually as ensemble pieces with electrified guitars. Elmore James recordings in 1954 and 1960 through 1961 have been identified as perhaps the most significant of the earlier renditions. The guitarist Eric Clapton, oh, I know him. Huh. Well, anyways, and the British rock group Cream popularized the song as Crossroads on their 1968 Wheels of Fire album. And their Fury blues rock interpretation became one of their best known songs and inspired many cover versions. So, I hold on. The one thing I didn't do is I didn't listen to his song. I didn't do that. Come on. Why are we not opening? I don't know why you don't like my thumbprint. So, anyways, the song. Okay, so Robert Johnson. I was really hoping it would just bring me to the dango song. Oh, here it is.
I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. I went to the crossroads. Down at the crossroads, baby, rising sun going down. Down at the crossroads, baby, rising sun going down. I did it to my soul now. Oh, Bobby's backing down. You can run, you can run. Tell my friend Willie Brown. You can run, you can run. Tell my friend Willie Brown. I got the crossroads this morning, Lord. Baby, I'm sinking down. I went to the crossroads, mama. I looked east and west. I went to the crossroads, baby. I looked east and west. I didn't have no sweet woman, baby, in my district.
All right, I get why they thought that, but honestly, besides the fact I'm really thankful that they had the lyrics up because his southern accent was really hard to understand. Some of it I just couldn't, I don't know, maybe if it's a bad recording or what, but I had a really hard time trying to hear him. I was actually reading it because I had a hard time hearing him. So, my allergies are so kicking my butt. Anyways, that was the one thing I really wanted to look into. Hold on, was his song. Because there's a lot of talk about his Crossroad Blues song. I'd never heard of it before. I guess. Now, was that the 1937 version or is that the 1961 version? Okay, well, anyways, both Johnson's and Cream's recordings of the song have received accolades from various organizations and publications. Both have also led the song to be identified as a blues standard as well as an important piece in the repertoires of blues inspired rock musicians. Clapton continues to be associated with the song and has used the name for the Crossroads Center he founded on an anti and yeah, I give up. I can't pronounce this word. Also known as Waladi. Okay, well I can't pronounce the name of this island. I give up. To help people recover from addictions and the Crossroads Guitar Festivals he organized to raise money for it. So, oh my God. Anyways, on October 19th, 30, on, in, I don't know why I said on, in October 1936, Johnson auditioned for the talent scout H.C. Spear in Jackson, Mississippi. He owned was a record store owner. He was responsible for launching the recording careers of most of the greatest Mississippi blues musicians in the 1920s and 30s. Okay. Spear recommended Johnson to Ernie Ortle, then a representative for Arc Records. After a second audition, Ortle arranged for Johnson to travel to San Antonio for a recording session. But what's this got to do? This has nothing to do with what we're looking into, apparently. Okay, lyrics and interpretation. Now, this is what I cared about. Is how people are interpreting the song to mean that he sold his soul for fame and money and so on and so forth. It says a crossroads or intersection of rural roads is one of the few landmarks in the Mississippi Delta a flat, featureless plain between the Mississippi and Yazoo rivers. We already know that. It is part of the local iconography. I'm sure I said it wrong. And several businesses may use the crossroads name, such as gas stations, banks, and retail shops. A crossroads is also where cars are more likely to slow down or stop, thus presenting the best opportunity for a hitchhiker. In the simplest reading, Johnson describes his grief at being unable to catch a ride at an intersection before the sun sets. Many see different levels of meaning, and some have attached a supernatural significance to the song. Both versions of the song open with the protagonist kneeling at a crossroads to ask God's mercy. The second section tells of his failed attempts to hitch a ride. In the third and fourth sections, he expresses apprehension at being stranded as darkness approaches and asks his friend Willie Brown be advised that I'm sinking down. The first take of the song, which was used for the single, includes a fifth verse that is not included in the second take. In it, he laments not having a sweet woman in his distress. According to authors Bruce Comforth and Gail Dean Wardlow, many blues fans and even some scholars have attempted to link the song to some satanic or Faustian bargain. Oh, yes. There's a picture. I love pictures. Oh, look at. Okay, so Robert Leroy Johnson was an American blues musician and songwriter. His singing, guitar playing, and songwriting on his landmark 1936. Okay, we already knew that. We didn't know a picture. Okay. Let's see. Faustian bargain as an explanation for how quickly Johnson progressed from being an average musician to an accomplished one. Is maybe people just really liked his music because they never thought about that. Okay. Folklore of the southern United States identifies a crossroads or graveyard as a site of a pact with the devil, which music writer Elijah Wald identifies as a likely source of the myth. Another source may be Delta bluesman Tommy Johnson, no relation to Robert, who promoted himself as having made a deal with the devil. Wald writes, as for Crossroad Blues, the satanic connection has to be made by first citing the Tommy Johnson story, tracing it through the ancient beliefs in a dark spirit who appears at the meeting of pathways. Then jury rigging. Okay. To jury. Then jury rigging it to fit a song that never suggests any such theme. Although Crossroad Blues does not contain any references to Satan or a Faustian bargain, Robert Johnson later recorded two songs that included such themes. Hellhound on My Trail, huh, tells of trying to stay ahead of the demon hound that is pursuing him, and in Me and the Devil Blues, he sings early this morning when you knocked upon my door and I said, hello, Satan, I believe it's time to go. Wait a minute. That just threw a whole wrench into my monkey wrench here. Because off the other song, the Crossroads song, I wouldn't have thought anything. But if you the other two songs, come on. Especially this one. Me and the Devil Blues. Early this morning when you knocked upon my door and I said, hello, Satan, I believe it's time to go. Done. These songs contribute to the Faustian myth, but how much Johnson promoted the idea is debated. Music historian Ted Gioia, anyways, believes that the use of satanic themes and imagery generated much needed publicity for blues musicians who were struggling through the Great Depression. Oh, free coffee and donuts for the unemployed. Oh, anyways, well, If they would have just caught me with the whole crossroads, I would have been like, nah, there's no way. No way. Anyways, hold on. How many of these? The next one, let's get into the next one. I think we've heard enough about Robert. So, Niccolo Pagani, I probably said his name wrong. Often referred to as the devil's violinist. I can talk, I swear. Earned this title due to his extraordinary violin skills, which were so remarkable that they were often attributed to supernatural influences, including a supposed pact with the devil. Now, I like the song The Devil Goes Down to Georgia, right? I 1000% know that song, and I 1000% know that that is what that song is about. Okay. Making a deal with the devil. Okay. Just saying. Anyways, he was one of the first virtuosos to be accused of forming such a pact, which contributed to his legendary status, known for his fiendish techniques such as left hand piscato and harmonics. Pagani significantly advanced violin playing and is celebrated for his 24 caprice for solo violin. His unique style and the myths surrounding him have solidified his reputation as one of the greatest violinists in history. Now, I wonder if The Devil Goes Down to Georgia is about this guy. Oh, no, I gotta know. Hold on, I'm gonna open a different tab so we can come back to him. Goes down to Georgia song about. How the heck do you spell his name again? Nicc. Okay. Oops. I can't spell either. Oh, here it is. Ani. I want to know. They're not going to tell me, are they? I really. A violinist. Oh, okay. I thought it was that one. Here we go. Somebody did it. Okay. The hidden meaning of Charlie Daniels, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I like that song. Ooh. Anyways. Daniels was a multi instrumentalist. I just had this idea. The devil went down to Georgia. The idea may have come from an old poem that Stephen Vincent Benet wrote many, many years ago. He didn't use that line, but I just started, and the band started playing, and the first thing you know, we had it down. So, okay. Daniels was more vague about his spin on what I can't pronounce, ad, archetypal tale. I don't know where the phrase "the devil went down to Georgia" came from, or why it entered my mind that day in the rehearsal studio. I don't even know where the song idea came from, but when it started coming, it came in a gush. Whatever the inspiration, "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" game is only number one hit. Shut the front door. That was his only number one hit. I like the song, but 1000% that song is about somebody making a deal with the devil. Mm-mm. It's all in the song. See, it's just like that. Robert, guys. The two other songs, but not Crossroads. Crossroads, I wasn't convinced. Him in the double song, though? 1000%. Okay, so, anyways, Niccolo, hold on. Okay, did Paganini the Great. Oh, Niccolo, such a gifted violinist, people thought he sold his soul to the devil. Wait, just because he could play good, they see. This is where you guys are starting to lose credibility with me. Is that you guys are just assuming things. Nobody told. He didn't say anything. Wasn't any proof. People just assume that because he played so good that he made a pact with the devil. Oh my God. Anyway, some thought he was a metaphorical musical god. Others thought he literally got his virtuosity from a deal with the devil. But what was the real story behind Niccolo Paganini's genius? Let's see. He was born on the 27th of October, 1782, in Genoa, Italy. He was an incredibly gifted musician and is widely considered one of the greatest violinists of all time. Nobody can outdo him from 1782. From 1782, nobody's played better than this man. Okay, sure. Anyways, he started playing the mandolin aged 5 before taking up the violin aged 7 and giving his first public performance aged 11 in Genoa. At the age of just 15, the talented teenager started playing solo tours. So, oh my God. Okay, the 19th century produced a number of extraordinary violinists, but none like Paganini. His talent was so beyond that of his peers that people started to believe he had made a pact with the devil. Like he didn't just practice and get really good from all that practice. There's no other proof. They just thought because he played so much better than everybody else. I just can't. Anyways, the 19th century produced a number of extraordinary violinists, but none like Paganini. His talent was so beyond that of his peers. Okay, we already read that. It was even rumored that Paganini's mother had sold his soul to the devil so he could become the greatest virtuoso in history. Oh, look, they removed the ad. Here's the real story. Oh, it's just a trailer. We're not watching a trailer. Anyways, age 13, Paganini was sent to study with famous violinist and teacher Alessandro Rolla. Rolla quickly saw Paganini's talent and decided there was nothing else he could teach him. So he passed him on to his own teacher, Fernando Payer. You guys already know. I suck with names. Anyways, who later referred him to his teacher, Gasparo Giretti. The young Paganini was clearly a child prodigy, but when, oh my lord, holy smokes. Either he has one heck of a nose on him or they really botched his picture. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, dude. I think they botched this picture. I think somebody drew this picture and they botched it. There's no way. There's no way. It looks like a bird beak. 1000%. Somebody botched that picture. Anyways, the young Paganini was clearly a child prodigy. But when 15-year-old Paganini embarked on solo tours, he had a breakdown and turned to alcoholism. I mean, they usually do. Yeah, I think somebody botched the shit out of this picture, though. There's no way. There's no way. Oh, see? This is a famous fake early photograph of the violinist. See, I knew it wasn't real. There's no way. They did him so bogus. Anyways, the violinist fame slowly turned him into a heavy heavy gambler, drinker, and a serial womanizer. A rumor even spread that Paganini had murdered a woman, used her intestines as violin strings, and imprisoned her soul within the instrument. Women's screams were said to be heard from his violin when he performed on stage. One thing was for sure, Paganini's skill on the violin was unparalleled. He was one of the first solo violinists to perform publicly without sheet music, choosing instead to memorize everything. Oh, is this his? I think this is his. Oh, I wanted to hear the song. Okay, well, anyways, The Devil Incarnate. Paganini was a striking man with hollow cheeks, pale skin, and thin lips. He was very tall and thin and often dressed in black. I mean, I often dress in black as well. That means nothing. He also had very long, thin fingers, and without the restriction of performing with sheet music, he flailed about on stage, earning him the nickname Rubber Man. Anyways, it is now believed that Paganini's unusual finger length, which allowed him to play 3 octaves in one hand span, was due to Marfan syndrome, a genetic disorder. Equally, his ability to play at incredible speed could be attributed to Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a disorder which causes increased flexibility and a lack of coordination. The violin was also regarded by some as the devil's instrument. So, all in all, it's not surprising that rumors about a deal with the devil started circulating. Some even thought Paganini could be the devil himself. I can't with people. One of the first rumors came out of a concert in Vienna where one audience member said they thought they had seen the devil helping Paganini play. Some People soon began claiming to have doppelgangers of Paganini with horns and hooves. It was even said that the devil once made lightning strike the end of Paganini's bow during a performance. Oh, how did he die? Paganini was sickly for much of his later life. He contracted syphilis in 1822, which was treated with mercury. Yeah, leading to further health problems. I can't imagine why. Anyways, in 1834, he caught tuberculosis and recovered shortly after. But later that year, he found himself getting weaker and decided to retire from public performance. Aged 54 and spent his last years teaching the violin. Aw, Paganini died of larynx cancer on the 27th of May, 1840, in Nice, France. Before his death, he turned away a priest offering him last rites, the final prayers Catholics receive at the end of their lives. Paganini said he turned the priest away was because he thought he wasn't going to die. But those who believed he was in league with the devil didn't buy this explanation. A week later, Paganini died without receiving the last rites, and his local church refused to bury his body on consecrated ground, even though he was a member of the Order of the Golden Spur. This is ridiculous. How is this any different than witch hunting stuff back in the day? I'm just saying. Over the next 4 years, his corpse would be transported on an extraordinary tour of Europe. His embalmed body was left on his deathbed in Nice for 2 months before it was transferred to the cellar of the house, where it remained for over a year. After his local church refused to bury him, his body was later taken to an abandoned leper house before being moved to a cement vat and an olive oil factory and later to a private house near Nice. Almost 4 years after his death, Pope Gregory, I don't even know what number. Remember, we were talking about Roman numerals, and I think I completely botched it the last time. Allowed the violinist's body to be transported to Genoa, and he was finally laid to rest in La Valletta Cemetery in Parma, Italy, some 200 kilometers from his birthplace in Genoa. That's sad. That is really sad. All because he refused the last rites. Well, that's nothing. I found out somebody went to jail for blaspheming it. And then that got me looking into something else, like where is blasphemy illegal, where you go to jail? Well, it's not a thing here in the United States. There are a number of countries where blasphemy, if somebody commits blasphemy, come on, come on, Poseidon, Poseidon. I don't know where he went. He'll come in. But anyways, blasphemy, people that commit blasphemy are sentenced to death. Holy smokes, several countries. Oh, there he is. But anyways, blew my mind, right? Because I was like, blasphemy. So people are dying for what they said. And I don't understand. Definitely Jewish. Yeah. But that wasn't even the real picture though. So there's that. So anyways, um we are going on to Aleister Crowley. So Aleister Crowley, born October 12th, 1875, died December 1st, 1947. Didn't live very long. I can't wait till we get into the more recent ones because them are the ones that really sparked me. These are just old ones. So, Aleister Crowley, hold on. Why does that name sound so familiar? And why do I think it has something to do with the show Supernatural? Crowley. Wasn't Crowley on Supernatural? Oh, I lost my people. Ah, crud. Well, anyways, I do believe Crowley was on the show Supernatural. And if I'm not mistaken, the first name was Aleister Crowley. So, and if that's the case, that means they took this whole person and put them in that show. And there must be a reason for that. So, I'm going to get into it. Let's see. He was born Edward Alexander Crowley. So, why does he want to be called Alistair if his name was Edward Alexander? Anyways, was an English occultist, ceremonial magician, poet, novelist, mountaineer, and painter. He found the religion of Alima, identifying himself as the prophet, entrusted with guiding humanity into I'm not even going to try, of Horus. I don't even know what letter that is. In the early 20th century, a prolific writer, he published widely over the course of his life. He was born into a wealthy family in Royal Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. Hmm. Crowley rejected his parents' fundam get it, Poseidon. He's so funny. Fundamentalist Christian Plymouth Brethren faith to pursue an interest in Western esotericism, Western mystery to the tradition. Why couldn't they have said that? Western mystery tradition. I like that name. Let's see. He was educated at Trinity College at the University of Cambridge, where he focused his attention upon mountaineering and poetry, resulting in several publications. So, what's this got to do? Hold on. I'm just going to skim through here because I don't want to read all this stuff. I feel like I've already been live for a long time. Oh, it doesn't tell me. Nope, it doesn't tell me. Wait, hold on. This does. 44 minutes. Oh, we're doing fine. Let's see. You know, Aleister Crowley, and he's from Sussex, England. Oh, no, he's from Warwickshire, and he died in Sussex. Oh, well, anyways, let me see. And declared that its followers should do what thou wilt, and seek to align themselves with their true will via the practice of ceremonial magic. I don't see anything here that sticks out. Oh, this is that thing that he started, right? That's a cool. It looks like a four-leaf clover in the middle. Anyways, tongue cancer. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, God, that looks awful. It most commonly starts as a painless red or white patch. Huh. Anyways, we got so sidetracked because I'm over here looking at tongue cancer. Went to Cambridge, which we heard. The Golden Dawn. Hmm. What's this got to do with him being, selling his soul to the devil, though? That's what I wanted to know. I just figured they would have kind of alluded to it more. Egypt and the Book of Law. I can't even pronounce that name. In China. The AA and the Holy Books of Thelema. So was the religion that he started, was that what they're considering? Let's see. Okay. Crowley's inheritance was running out. Trying to earn money, he was hired by George Montague Bennett, the Earl of Tankerville, to help protect him from witchcraft. Recognizing Bennett's paranoia as being based in his cocaine addiction, this is back early 1900s. Crowley took him on holiday to France and Morocco to recuperate. So it was in 1907 he also began taking and paying students whom he instructed in occult and magical practice. Victor Newberg, whom Crowley met in February 1907, became his sexual partner and closest disciple. Oh, that was very taboo back then. In 1908, the pair toured northern Spain before heading to Tangier, Morocco. The following year, Newberg stayed at Boleskine, where he and Crowley engaged in sadomasochism. Oh, S&M. Huh. Receiving pain or humiliation. I don't understand. But anyways, Crowley continued to write prolifically, producing such works of poetry as these ones. I'm still looking for what people just be making stuff up back then, right? They had nothing better to do. And let's see. Time to stand. That's not time to stand yet. I don't understand how they think this. Well, he moved to the United States. He's moved a lot. Oh, wait, hold on. He was in a homosexual relationship, but then something happened. And it says here, Crowley entered into a relationship with Jeannie. Is it Jeannie? Jan. I don't know. Robert Foster. Her middle name was Robert. That's probably her dad's name. With whom he toured the West Coast. So Crowley and Richardson performed sex magic in April 1916, following which she became pregnant and then miscarried. Later that year, he took a magical retirement to a cabin by, can't pronounce that name. There he made heavy use of drugs and undertook a ritual, after which he proclaimed himself Master Therian. Oh, this guy was just nuts. Or was that the behavior of what made people think that he had sold his soul to the devil? Hmm. Leader life. Oh, he had a lot of relationships, actually. This man. And almost a couple kids, too, but I think that one was lost, too. I seen something. Yeah, she miscarried. Who then denounced her? I don't. This man. I don't see anything in here. See, it is. It's all because of the religion that he started. They thought that he had sold his soul to the devil because he had started a religion. I can't. I just can't. They either just make the stuff up. Okay, well, I'm not satisfied by that one. But let's get into some newer ones. So, this one I've never heard of before. It says, why does a 60 Minutes interview from 2004 seem so weird? I don't know. I've never seen it.
For as long as I've been here at 60 Minutes, I've wanted to interview Bob Dylan. Over his 43-year career, there is no musician alive who has been more influential. His distinctive twang and poetic lyrics have produced some of the most memorable songs ever written. In the 60s, his songs of protest and turmoil spoke to an entire generation. While his life has been the subject of endless interpretation, he's been largely silent. Now, at age 63, he's written a memoir called Chronicles, Volume 1. And I finally got to sit down with him in his first television interview in nearly 20 years. What you will see is pure Dylan, mysterious, elusive, fascinating, just like his... You wrote Blowing in the Wind in 10 minutes, is that right?
Probably.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
It came from, it was like, right out of that wellspring of creativity, I would think, you know.
That wellspring of creativity has sustained Bob Dylan for more than 4 decades.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man,
And produced 500 songs.
You got a lot of nerve.
And more than 40 albums.
How does it feel?
You ever look at music that you've written and look back at it and say, whoa, that surprised me?
I used to. I don't do that anymore. I don't know how I got to write those songs.
What do you mean you don't know how?
Well, those early songs were like almost magically written. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even the silver spoon, a handmade blade, a child's balloon.
Eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand, you knew too soon. There is no sense in trying.
This Dylan classic, It's All Right, Ma, was written in 1964.
Mouthpiece, the hollow horn, plays wasted words, proves to warn that he not busy being born, is busy dying.
Well, try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic. You know, it's a different kind of a penetrating magic. And you know, I did it. I did it at one time.
You don't think you can do it today?
Mm-mm.
Does that disappoint you? I mean...
Well, you can't do something forever, and I did it once, and I can do other things now, but I can't do that.
Dylan has been writing music since he was a teenager in the remote town of Hibbing, Minnesota, the eldest of 2 sons of Abraham and Beatty Zimmerman. Did you have a good life, a good, happy childhood growing up?
I really didn't consider myself happy or unhappy. I always knew that there was something out there that I needed to get to, and it wasn't where I was at that particular moment.
It wasn't in Minnesota?
No.
It was in New York City. As he writes in his book, he came alive when at age 19, he moved to Greenwich Village, which at the time was the frenetic center of the 60s counterculture. Within months, he had signed a recording contract with Columbia Records. You referred to New York as the capital of the world, but when you told your father that, he thought that it was a joke. Did your parents approve of you being a singer-songwriter, going to New York?
No, they wouldn't have wanted that for me, but my parents never went anywhere. My father probably thought the capital of the world was wherever he was at the time. It couldn't possibly be any place else where he and his wife were in their own home. That to them was the capital of the world.
What made you different? What pushed you out of there?
Well, I listened to the radio a lot. I hung out in record stores and I slam-banged around on a guitar and played the piano and learned songs from a world which didn't exist around me.
He says even then he knew he was destined to become a music legend. I was heading for the fantastic lights, he writes. Destiny was looking right at me and nobody else. Use the word destiny over and over throughout the book. What does that mean to you?
It's a feeling you have that you know something about yourself nobody else does. The picture you have in your mind of what you're about will come true. That's kind of a thing you kind of have to keep to your own self because it's a fragile feeling and you put it out there somebody will kill it. So it's best to keep that all inside.
When we asked him why he changed his name, he said that was destiny too. So you didn't see yourself as Robert Zimmerman?
And for some reason, I never did.
Even before you started performing?
No, even then. Some people get born, to the wrong names, wrong parents. I mean, that happens.
Tell me how you decided on Bob Dylan.
You call yourself what you want to call yourself. This is the land of the free.
Bob Dylan created a world inspired by old folk music, with piercing and poetic lyrics, as in songs like A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall.
So guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children.
Songs that reflected the tension and unrest of the civil rights and anti-war movements of the 60s. It was an explosive mixture that turned Dylan, by age 25, into a cultural and political icon, playing to sold-out concert halls around the world and followed by people wherever he went. He was called the voice of his generation and was actually referred to as a prophet, a messiah.
Go, driver, go.
Yet he saw himself simply as a musician.
You feel like an imposter when someone thinks you're something and you're not.
What was the image that people had of you, and what was the reality?
The image of me was certainly not a songwriter or a singer. It was more like some kind of a threat to society in some kind of way.
What was the toughest part for you personally?
It was like being in an Edgar Allan Poe story. You're just not that person everybody thinks you are, although they call you that all the time. You're the prophet, you're the savior. I never wanted to be a prophet or savior. Elvis, maybe. Well, I could easily see myself becoming him, but prophet, no.
I know that, and I accept, you don't see yourself as the voice of that generation, but some of your songs did stop people cold, and they saw them as anthems, and they saw them as protest songs. It was important in their lives. It sparked a movement.
If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing.
I mean, you may not have seen it that way, but that's the way it was for them. How do you reconcile those two things?
My stuff were songs, they weren't sermons. If you examine the songs, I don't believe you're going to find anything in there that says that I'm a spokesman for anybody or anything, really.
But they saw it.
Yeah, but they must not have heard the songs.
It's ironic, that the way that people viewed you was just the polar opposite of the way you viewed yourself.
Isn't that something?
Dylan did almost anything to shatter the lofty image many people.
He's a very deeply sad man. That's what I gather from that interview. You know, the thing that eluded me to Bob Dylan's creepy interview says, did he slip up or was he being cryptic on purpose? I don't know what he's being cryptic about. He just seems like he's very sad I don't really know about what. That's none of my business. Oh, here we go. We're getting into some modern day stuff. Okay. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to cover over some of this. Hold on. I thought I had one picked out. It was this one. It says, "What's behind hip hop's Illuminati music obsession?" Come on, this is where this came from. Okay, it's all kind of from more recent stuff, more recent things that have taken place, something that's happened in our lifetime, versus the other ones. I don't know how even Bob Dylan. I don't know, man. Like it is kind of like he says he doesn't know where the words came from, but they were there. Anyways, says rap has often been defined by its fixation on money, power, and influence. What's behind hip hop's Illuminati music obsession? Ha, there it is. Illuminati want can't even talk. Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep the eye trying to keep the eye on me, but I'ma stay incognito in places they can't find me. Hmm. The story of how the Illuminati first ended up in a rap song is a lot like your average Illuminati conspiracy. There's a Byzantine plot and a shifting cast of somewhat famous characters with varying al- wait, alleged allegations. Is that allegations? I'm gonna call it allegations. And interests. The genesis of the lyrics quoted above from the 1995 remix to LL Cool J's "I Shot Ya." Oops, come here, baby. Come here. You're okay. I know. Well, anyways, she can't help herself. She thinks it's bedtime. So it says the the 1995 remix to LL Cool J's "I Shot Ya" involves a beat between Tupac and that song's featured artist, Keith Murray. Murray's subsequent beef with Mobb Deep's Prodigy and a notable cameo from a 15-year-old Foxy Brown. 15 years old she was, huh? The particulars aren't especially important. What is important is that line from Prodigy everyone remembers. It was the first time the Illuminati was mentioned per- predominantly on wax, nestled in the middle of a needlessly complex series of beefs. Illuminati want my mind, soul, my body. It was the beginning of an entirely new school of thought in hip hop. One as intelligent and informed as it was suspicious and paranoid. Prodigy was referring to the Illuminati conspiracy theory, the idea that there's a network of shadowy, powerful individuals bent on controlling society by rebuilding it as a new world order, which I'm going to do another new world order video. And that's also going to tie more in with the Illuminati because, me and Randy did an Illuminati video a long time ago. I think it was after my mom passed away, if I remember correctly. But anyways, under a totalitarian worldwide government. Yeah, see? Around the same time, CeeLo Green made reference to it on Cell Therapy, claiming crazy traces of the New World Order. Time is getting the shorter if we don't get prepared. People, it's gonna be a slaughter. Mentions of the Illuminati and hip hop quickly spiked from there. Jay-Z sampled Prodigy's line from I Shot Ya for The Evils. The Evils on his 1996 debut, Reasonable Doubt, sparking rumors that persist to this day that he is associated with the organization. You got encouraged listeners to get your shit together before the fucking Illuminati hit in 1997 on Wu Tang Clan's Impossible. Rap's Illuminati talk wasn't just a one time fad, however. The fervor died down a bit right up until 2008 when Prodigy published an open letter he'd written in jail to Herb magazine, which I remember that magazine, alleging that his old rival Jay-Z promotes the lifestyle of the beast, hip hop culture, the innovator of so many popular fashion styles and sounds. Rarely sees trends with such extended lifelines. And as usual, this trend among rappers has crossed over to pop culture in a big way. Ah, so today the Illuminati theory is as relevant as ever, often used as a way to justify the continued success of artists. Jay-Z, Beyonce. No, they did not put Eminem on this list. He does not belong on this list. Lady Gaga and Kanye West, who are accused of being puppets of this mysterious web of faceless figureheads. Eminem does not belong on this list. Jay-Z, yeah, Beyonce, yeah, Lady Gaga, yeah, definitely Kanye. But Eminem does not belong on a list with them other four people. I'm sorry. For no reason whatsoever. Why didn't you guys lock yourselves in and out? Come on. Come on. In or out? Oh my God, they're going to complain about it. Anyways, so I don't agree with that at all. There's an endless stream of books, podcasts, and blogs examining the Illuminati's use of media and entertainment to carry out its agenda. And there are innumerable YouTube videos about the Illuminati with millions of views. The Illuminati is always somehow part of the conversation when a celebrity like Whitney Houston or more recently Prince passes away prematurely. There's the other part of this. Come on. In or out? Go. Go. Because you're over there complaining. You're starting a whole freaking thing over here. No, we're not doing that. Anyways, see, now this is where I was getting at with it. It's just getting good. Oh, yeah. So when they pass away prematurely, see, that's the thing. But that's also known as like the 27 club, right? If you guys know, you know. Um, but does it have something to do with selling their soul to the devil? Just saying. Its signifiers, triangles, covered eyes, devil's horns are consistently invoked in music videos and press photos. What's so perplexing about the Illuminati theory and its continued life is that it's just that, a theory. Despite the term's prominence in hip hop and pop culture, there is no proof that the Illuminati still exists. And there's also no proof that they don't exist. Just because, oh my God, the government loves sheeple. They just love them. Anyways, go ahead and be a sheeple all you want. I'm not. Uh, and not a single artist has admitted to being affiliated with it. They're not allowed to. Then why, for more than 2 decades, has the existence of an unconfirmed secret society been consistently connected to the music industry? Why do the rumors refuse to go away? And it says secret societies have existed for centuries, and at one point, the Illuminati was real, which is why it's not going nowhere because it actually factually existed. Um, is there 1000% proof that they've dismantled? No, absolutely not. I know they don't let me. They don't let me. They don't let people in for a reason. Okay, people like to talk, especially me. They would never let me in because I like to talk. But anyways, secret societies have existed for centuries, and at one point, the Illuminati was real. In 1776, a German professor named Adam Weishaupt, I'm sure I pronounced it wrong, founded the Bavarian Illuminati, also known as the Order of the Illuminati, as a response to the Roman Catholic Church's power over philosophical and scientific thought. Weishaupt aimed to recruit from within the Freemasons. Freemasons, a secret society that still openly exists today. Now, the Freemasons do openly admit, although we still do not know, right? We don't know what they do. We're not a part of it. So, anyways, to disseminate ideas of the Enlightenment. Mhm. Over the course of the next decade or so, he accrued an estimated 2,500 members, according to Michael Barkin's A Culture of Conspiracy. Though the Bavarian Illuminati disbanded by 1787 and seemingly remained inactive in the centuries that followed, rumors of its existence continued into the 20th century. They surged when President George H.W. Bush, in a 1991 speech marking the end of the Cold War, mentioned forming a new world order. Now that's what actually got me started with the new world order thing. And it's been stuck in my head ever since that. Okay. Can't tell you how many rabbit holes I've went down about new world order. Also, I just went down one again today. This guy is claiming to have a chip right here, right? Um, that they use, and he said, I believe he said Australia, could have been Austria, one of them too. He had a very heavy accent. We already know I have a problem with accents. I have a problem with my own damn accent. But anyways, he says that they use that because they have made these sophisticated dystopian cities, right? And instead of using a card or your phone to pay for like bus or traveling on the subway or taxis or anything, you have to scan your chip in your hand. For years, I know you guys don't know, but for years I've told all my friends and family that that is one of the things about the New World Order is that they're trying to control everything. The best way to control everything is to chip everything so you can track it all the time. Correct? Correct. Anyways, some interpreted the speech as a sign that the Illuminati had been reconstituted or had never left. Just remember that. It makes sense that hip hop would gravitate towards such a conspiracy theory. Absolutely, it does not. Hip hop isn't about conspiracy theories, for starters. Okay, but anyways, the black community has plenty of reasons to be distrustful of the government, and so does every other American that lives here, because they have lied, they have covered up things, and they have did awful things to people. Okay? They've did awful tests to their own people. Remember that. But anyways, many so-called conspiracies have in time turned out to be true. Right. And see, that's the other thing right there. Is that it's all a conspiracy theory until the truth actually comes out. And guess what? The truth always comes out because the truth cannot be hidden for long. So it says, now it does not make sense to me that the hip hop community would gravitate toward any kind of conspiracy theories because they're not known for following conspiracy theories. It's not like they're out there rapping about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. You know what I'm saying? I digress. For example, in 1932, do you know? Remember when I went to Cedar Bluff? I actually found a headstone from a Tuskegee patient. Okay. I mean, it was not in good condition. I have the picture up on, I think it's on TikTok. It is on TikTok because they allow you to post pictures and stuff on there. I usually kind of do sometimes. I've been trying to get more active with uploading everywhere. But, anyways, plus I have tons of stuff to upload. It says, I forgot where I was. Okay, for example, in 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service conducted the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, which involved 399 black men with syphilis. The study lasted 40 years before a special panel intervened. The afflicted men were never informed that they had syphilis and were never given penicillin. Penicillin was the cure for it, right? They knew it. the whole 40 years. Anyways, a $10 million out-of-court settlement followed in 1974. In another infamous incident, the Church Committee, a U.S. Senate commission, confirmed that the FBI's COINTELPRO initiative carried out illegal operations to interfere with, spy on, and systematically disrupt the Black Panthers and many civil rights organizations. See, there we go. More shit. Anyways, Rob Brotherton, an adjunct assistant professor at Barnard College and author of Suspicious Minds, Why We Believe in Conspiracy Theories, because there's usually truth to the conspiracy theories. It may not be wholeheartedly truthful, but there is some truth to it, or else it wouldn't have no. Okay, there's a really good song by REO Speedwagon, and it says the story changes on down the line. So one person tells one person a story, the story changes before it gets to the next person, and that whole story is completely changed by the time you get back to the original person, and that's just how it goes, and that's how it's always been. What are you guys doing? You don't even know what you guys are doing. Susie. But anyways, it says explains that these real life government conspiracies targeting Black people planted the seeds for Illuminati theories' popularity today. Hip hop served as a soapbox for people to talk about issues that were relevant to them. Things like discrimination, yes, I agree, poverty, the criminal justice system, which are often seemingly slanted against African Americans, who choose to be professionally agnostic about his belief in the Illuminati. It's a short leap to go from noticing some kind of injustice to thinking about whether there's something behind it. Hip hop was just a good candidate to revive this myth. Well, anyways, are they going to get into it? No, they're not. They're not. Okay, but why would the Illuminati target hip hop as rappers like Prodigy claim? The theory goes, what about all this stuff with Diddy? Okay, all the stuff with Diddy, all of these. I don't know if anybody's paying attention. You know, all of these really rich people, they kind of have the same MO, don't they? They have so much money that they can make people be quiet so they can get away and do whatever they want. Does that also mean that them damn people have all that damn money and they do all that shit, they think they can just pay away their problems, right? Did they sell their souls to the devil too? I'm just wondering, because maybe that's why there's so much corruption. I'm just saying, so much corruption and evil. It's all these rich people. And what does that old saying go? Uh, money is the root of all evil. So does that all tie together somehow? Am I missing the mark here? I know I'm close. I'm trying to come in here. It says the theory goes that the Illuminati recruits musicians as puppets in an attempt to influence the masses by sending hidden messages through their work. Hold on. So they recruit can't talk. Musicians as puppets. Is that like them recruiting minors so they can do god awful things to them? I'm not talking about hip hop. I'm talking about the rich people that've been doing the horrible shit to these kids. You know what I'm talking about. This cannot be hidden. It's everywhere. You can't even turn on damn TV without seeing it. But with all of that going on, and with us knowing that money is the root of all evil, and with all these damn people having all this damn money, did they sell their soul for all that money? And is that why they're so fucking evil? Just saying. I'm just saying that's where this really comes from. This and the Jay-Z Beyonce thing. I really feel like that once they get that money, once they get a taste of that, I feel like it just goes to their head. There's so many celebrities out there that just lets it go to their heads. I can't even begin. Anyways, Prodigy, who started studying conspiracy theories as a high school freshman in 1989, explains that this powerful group of individuals looks to entertainment because it's the easiest way to tap into the public's individual energies and control them. It's all about control, baby. It's always about control. It's not just about hip hop, it's about the entire music industry, he says. They're fucking with people's senses, their sexual energies, mental energies. They know how to manipulate the chakras in your body and set them shits off. Turn them on and turn them off. If you study that type of stuff, metaphysics and all that stuff, you'll see it's very real. Prodigy, now 41. When was this? I'm not scrolling up to find out exactly when, but he's close to my age. No, this has got to be years ago because if he was a senior in high school in 1989, he is not my age because in 1989 I was in elementary. So we're not. We're not. Anyways, says Prodigy, now 41, however, is quick to dissociate the term Illuminati from modern day networks of selective elites. Ah, that's important. The elites, which is another term that's used in the New World Order and in the Illuminati. Coincidence? It says, which could go by any name, upholds similar malefic, malef, maleficent beliefs. He says it extends beyond any singular group. There are many entities conspiring to manipulate the masses for their own benefit. It's not all the Illuminati doing this, he continues. It's a company trying to make a few millions of dollars controlling people's senses, emotions, and shit like that. It's definitely happening. It's happening in hip hop. It might not be as deep as people think. Sometimes the record company is driving sales up, making videos more sexual. They're just trying to make $1. Or sometimes it could be as deep as you think. You never know. But you can't put everything in the same box. You've got to really know how to separate facts from theory and fiction. You can't just blame everything on the fucking Illuminati. Hold on. There's a lot more in here. Identifying Illuminati symbols as the nuts and bolts of conspiracy theorists. They claim that puppets of the Illuminati tend to evoke a handful of recurring poses and images, such as the Eye of Horus, the Egyptian symbol for the all seeing eye, featured in Katy Perry's video for Dark Horse, set in ancient Egypt. And we all know what just happened with her, right? I'm telling you, just the cringe with that one. Another go to is the pyramid and Germatra and Astro Babylonian Greek code tied to Judaism. Its three sides represent the spirit realm. Jay-Z throwing up his signature rock sign, a diamond made with your hands, is one of the. Oh, it's not a diamond though. It's okay, but anyways, a diamond made with your hands is one of the theorist's favorites. Then there's the number of the beast, which refers to 666, represented by making an OK symbol with your hand. Beyonce does this reference to her hometown of Houston. And don't forget double horns, in which you make a clenched fist and then stick out your index and pinky fingers. Both Eminem and Barack Obama have been photographed making this gesture. They said his name again. You are not tying Eminem into any of this shit. I'm going to tell you that right now. That man don't even leave his house. That man does not leave his house. That man has agoraphobia. That man is not, no, no, no. They need to leave his name out of all this. Oh my God. But, anyways, are you guys talking about Rap God? Is that what they are talking about? Where he did that on Rap God? Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. I just can't. I just can't. No, we're not doing that. His name does not get brought in with all of this. Absolutely not. But anyways, the deeper you look, the more you'll find. You could go so far as to decode Blue Ivy's name. Some believe it's an acronym for Born Living Under Evil, Illuminati's very youngest. And that wouldn't be the most outlandish theory. It's so easy to do, and it's so satisfying when you can find some symbol that seems to be hidden away, explains Brotherton. In psychology, this is referred to as confirmation bias. Once you start looking for it, it's incredibly easy to find, especially when the supposed symbols are fairly generic. Things like evil eyes or covered eyes, a circle around the eye, pyramids, they're everywhere. Once we find them, it's easy to incorporate them into the belief system to say, look, I found a plot. Or just to try to allude to something off a very short song that had probably not even 20 words in that whole song. Very first thing we did was listen to that song, right? There probably wasn't 20 words in that whole song. I read the song because I couldn't understand what he was saying. But they made that out to be that he sold his soul to the devil in under 20 words because he kept repeating the same words. So you can't, it's a repeated word. I don't think that man used more than 20 words in that whole damn song. And they just made that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Okay. Oh, I don't know who this is. Lecrae, an independent rapper who has won 2 Grammys and scored a Billboard 200 chart topper with his 2014 album Anomaly, is just one of many MCs and singers who have been accused of invoking Illuminati imagery into his videos. It happened to him twice after triangles appeared in his visuals for singles Manilow and Sideways. I can't smile without somebody claiming it's symbolic. So it doesn't matter what I do at this point in time, he says with a laugh. I think about it after the fact. Like, here we go. There's a triangle behind me, but it's just shapes. That means every trigonometry class is the Illuminati. Every optometrist that makes you cover your eye when you go for an eye exam is Illuminati. Some of this stuff is outlandish to me. But he continues, I believe in secret societies. I joined a fraternity. There are all sorts of secret connections and relationships that go on. I think there are people in power, and people in power can make decisions. When he talks and bullshit walks. Anyways, some theorists see specific uses of imagery as too spot on to be coincident. In his book Sacrifice Magic Behind the Mic, a deep dive into hip hop's connection to Illuminati that investigates blood sacrifices, Isaac Wishap, a pseudonym inspired by the original Illuminati founder, refers to the Bohemian Grove, a California campground that hosts powerful and affluent men each year and boasts alumni like Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan. Its mascot is a representation of the ancient Greek deity Athena, an owl, the exact one that Drake uses as his logo for his label OVO Sound. At each Grove gathering, the men perform a ritual called the cremation of care, a mock sacrifice to a statue of the owl. Illuminati conspirators put this organization in the crosshairs for idolatry and sadism. I don't think I said this word right. I don't know what that word is either. But anyways, keep going. Blah blah blah. They claim it's a mock sacrifice or whatever. There's a whole bunch of fuckery going on over there. Hold on. Let me stop the press. Didn't we just talk about Lady Gaga? Have you guys seen any of the outfits or performances that she's been doing? The rituals on stage that she's been doing? Yeah, that was another big one that popped up that really got me thinking about all this. It's also coming to fuck all of them and anybody that's down with them. Hold on, there's something going on here. Hold on. It's the exact same logo of this owl that this motherfucker Drake be using. That's kind of strange to me. Why he take the owl, the exact same one, the exact same logo? I'm not saying Drake is a part of something. All I'm saying is you want to know some weird fucking shit? Check that shit out. That whole group of people with the owl shit and just doing all this fuck shit in the world. Oh, in this world. They are the worst people on the face of the planet. Fuck all of them and anybody that's down with them. People need to make a petition to find out what the fuck Drake is using that owl for. Well, come on now. He's already been called out. I can't do any better than Kendrick Lamar did. I'm just saying. I mean, he really threw it to him. I'm sorry. The grin, that little cheesy grin. There's no comeback. I'm sorry, dude. Like cheesy ass grin. Kendrick nailed that. I'm sorry. And I really try to stay out of all that. But if I was coming for somebody and I had that kind of opportunity, that is golden. Because what did he do? He just killed his ass with some kindness and some words. And he is so butthurt by them words. We all know. But anyways, they're just words, right? Like, how the fuck can somebody go to jail for blasphemy? They're just words. How can somebody be sentenced to death for words? We come back to that. That's how it all started. Remember, we already talked about that. Hold on. I just seen Beyonce. Okay, hold on. But for every allegation of Illuminati, there's a rapper or musician disavowing the rumors. Beyonce recently shut down the conspiracy theorists down on formation sneering. Y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess. That was her comeback. You pay people, and that is your comeback? I can't. All that money, and you couldn't pay somebody to come back with a better comeback than that? Corny. 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 Whatever song she won that award for, that is the basis of this. How? 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 That song sucked that she won the award for it. I couldn't even listen to it. I couldn't even listen. I couldn't even get to the chorus. I couldn't. It sucked. She needs to go back to her single lady days and try to leave the other genres alone. Okay? I don't know why all these damn artists keep thinking they can just flip genres like that. If you're country, stay country. If you're hip hop, stay hip hop. If you are a rapper, stay a rapper. Stay in your fucking lane, Beyonce. You are not a country artist. You are pop artist, an R&B artist. You already have all these other titles. You suck at country. Sorry, but I'm really not sorry. That song sucked. If I made a song like that, I'd be fucking. I would not show my face. I would not show my face. That song sucked. And she won a whole award for that. Back to this, right? She sold her soul to get that award. I promise. There's no fucking way, dude. I heard that. Mm-mm. Yeah, fuck all this sensationalism. You know, clap back, clap back. Okay, so anyways, she's corny with her stupid corny ass fucking comment. Her corny ass song. That's what she should have been talking about. Her corny ass country song. Corny country. Anyways, that song sucked. I can't even. Anyways, in 2011, Kanye addressed rumors that he was an Illuminati puppet during a freestyle at New York City's Blue Note Jazz Club. What a fucking mouthful. A black man interested in art, speaking from the heart, and playing my part in all this Illuminati talk. Like my first single wasn't Jesus Walks, he rapped. It wasn't the last time he addressed the conspiratorial chatter. I heard a comment, a joke about the title press conference being an Illuminati moment. Blah, 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 in March 2015. If there was actually an Illuminati, it would be more like the energy companies, not celebrities that gave their life to music and who are pinpointed as decoys for people who really run the world. I'm tired of people pinpointing musicians as the Illuminati. That's ridiculous. Fuck all this sensationalism. We gave you our lives. We gave you our hearts. We gave you our opinions. Shoot, this just keeps going. I'm done. I have heard enough. Beyonce winning the award for best country song when there was so many other country songs that were so much fucking better. She sold her soul for that. I'm pretty sure that whoever Kanye sold his soul to is trying to get it, and that's why he's acting all fucking tutti fruity and shit. You know, they say your mind goes when you're dying. 1000%. You guys aren't paying attention. Um, I don't have anything else to add to this. We went through all of my stuff I looked up, but we're gonna come back to because I didn't stick on with my script. Um, do you guys believe the story about Robert Johnson, the man with the crossroads song? Do you guys believe that actually happened? Do you believe that he actually went to a crossroad and that he met the devil and sold his soul to become a great blues artist? Also, once again, do you think obsession with talent makes people see demons where there are none? And that's speaking of Paganini, the violinist, right? And then Aleister Crowley, was he a con man, a madman, or someone who really tapped into something? That man was a madman. That he went on a whole drug binge. Who drug induced psychosis, okay. But anyways, Bob Dylan. So Bob Dylan's creepy interview, the only thing I gathered from that is that that man is super sad. About what? I have no idea. Am I diving into that? Absolutely not. I've been sad. I understand it's part of life. That was the only thing I gathered from that. I didn't get a creepy vibe from it. But it says, did he slip up or was he being cryptic on purpose? Cryptic about what? What? He he doesn't think that people should idolize him. No shit. You guys need to stop idolizing people. It's look at Gypsy Rose. Exhibit A. Gypsy Rose kills her mom, gets out of prison, and how many TikTok followers does she have? Get out of here. She's got a TV show, writing books and stuff. Why are we I idealize wait idolizing? There we go. That's the word. Idolizing somebody that killed her mom. Why? I don't understand this. Anyways, and then the modern music and the Illuminati, right? And especially Jay-Z, because everybody's always talking about like Jay-Z doing his little whatever signal he wants to call it. But Beyonce, there were so many better country songs. And I like country music. I like a lot of different music. Okay. I'm not being biased by any way. What I am being is actual factual, and the only way that she fucking won that is because she sold her soul to the devil to get that award. Look, look, Eminem. Look, how did Eminem even end up on that last list? Because Eminem has came out many a times and said that she's won awards over him, and he had like way more fucking. I can't. I can't. They are selling their souls. Money is the root of all evil. Goes hand in hand. If you want a lot of money, you have to sell your soul to the devil. You know, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to sell my soul to the devil. So I guess I'm never going to have a lot of money. And I'm fine with that because I don't want to be an evil, corrupt fucking person that's also um, bumping elbows with known child sex offenders. Okay. Um, I'm also not a part of all their bullshit fucking parties that they have and the fucking weird shit that they do, you know? It's that type of stuff. It makes me think that they sold their soul to the devil. It's that type of shit. It's all the Diddy shit. It's every time that we see something happen that shouldn't have happened. That makes me think they sold their damn soul to the devil. Okay? That's kind of getting tied in with the 27 club for all of the singers that died before or on their 27th birthdays, right? Not on their birthday, but when they turned 27. They call them the 27 Club because They don't make it past 27. And it's very common with singers. Okay. But did they really sell their soul to the devil? And is that why they died so young? Mostly drugs and alcohol. I understand that. But I mean, the thing that blew my mind this morning was hearing that the Pope died and that he had a stroke. They took him to the hospital and he had a heart attack, and the heart attack is what did him in. He had a stroke and a heart attack. The stroke didn't take him, heart attack did. That just reminds me of fucking Final Destination. Also, there's a new Final Destination movie coming out next month, which is what happened to the Pope makes me think about is Final Destination. Because it wasn't the stroke, it's a damn heart attack. That just blows my mind. But anyways, um, did we get to the very final points? No. So, are these just artistic choices or coded messages when it comes with the celebrities? I think they are coded messages and they are speaking upon something that they proactively participate in. Okay. The only thing I have to say to them is prove me fucking wrong. That's it. I'm not going to be like everybody else, like, oh, you said you don't do that. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that you're not out here doing all this stupid shit. I don't believe it. I won't believe it. I'm sorry. Until you actually show me. Because you can say anything. People can say whatever they want. Right? Hold on. I lost my spot. We're almost done. Oh, here we go. Have you ever felt tempted by something too good to be true? No. I usually, if something feels too good to be true, I am the first one to back the fuck out of it. Open the floor. If you could sell your soul for one thing, what would it be? And that is all I really had. Oh yeah, and we already kind of reflected on what alluded me to this video. It's really the celebrities now, but I dived deeper and found out about past stuff. It's really just all this stuff, guys. I'm sorry. It really just makes me think that evil is really running rampant in this world right now. And oh, it says I should have done a poll. I was gonna do a poll. I did not do a poll. It's the same question I keep asking you guys. If the devil showed up tonight and offered you a deal, would you take it? Yes, no, depends on the offer. Already did. And if you already did, please tell me what you sold your soul for because I would like to know. Honestly, I would never sell my soul. I would give my life for my children, but I would never sell my soul. And I feel like it's the act of love for my children. So that's the only thing when it comes to death. And I wouldn't say I would sell my soul. I would give my life for my children. Not the same because mine was an act of love, not as in greed or anything like of that nature. I don't operate like that. But anyways, we've been on now for almost 2 hours, and I'm still on the fence. I still feel like money is the root of all evil, and they're after the money, the bag so bad they will do anything. And then the devil just pops up, and he's like, "I can make it happen like that." He can give you everything you've ever wanted, all the fame in the world, all the money you could ever imagine, to roll around in it like uh oh, what was his name? Um, the rich uncle on DuckTales. Anyways, I can't think of his name. But he would roll around in his fucking mansion full of coins and gold and stuff, right? So anyways, devil can give you all that. All you gotta do is give him your soul. Sign on that red line. Because it'll be a red line because you're probably gonna have to sign in blood. That's probably the only way it's valid. But that is my opinion. I honestly seen too much lately that's made me think that people are out here really selling their soul to the devil. especially when they die young. There's been a lot of young celebrity deaths. Celebrity can be artist, singer, um, actors, any kind of celebrity there is. You know, it just seems like they've done something besides drugs. They made them die because, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, maybe that's what led them to the drugs. And maybe it was the money, that led them to the drugs. If they would have never got the money, would they have gotten the drugs and died? Okay. Anyways, that's my brain thinking too much again. I really just feel like they just really out here selling their soul. I don't know. It's not one thing that I would do ever. But anyways, on that note, if you liked this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next live stream or video. I'm kind of hoping that's going to be nice tomorrow. It's supposed to rain. If it doesn't rain, we're going to take a little field trip. I will not disclose that unless we actually. Look, my chat is showing up over here now. Just randomly. Sign into chat. My chat's actually showing up. I am shocked. But anyways, fingers crossed. Nice weather. We could take a field trip. And